Greetings, everybody. I've been a while away, but let's get back into the Dravorn faction. Let's get back into the storytelling, what this faction is about. So, today we're gonna talk about what was life on Coralax after the Dravorn takeover. In most of the galaxy, when power changes hands, ordinary people learn to fear the next boot. One banner falls, another one rises. Another lord takes the chair, one noble dies. Coralax people, nobles, and all that stuff expected that. When the Draven came, many common folk did not understand what they were seeing. They had lived under noble hunger, imperial fear, old debts, religious pressure, and the simple truth that a poor family could be punished for needing bread. So when the takeover began, Coralax did not relax. It froze, but the Dragon already moved. 10 hours before the initial takeover, roughly 60 Dra- Dragon Black Ops individuals were already active across the planet. Not for the conquest, not for the raise a flag over every village. Their purpose was prevention. They searched for the people and places most likely to turn the Dragon arrival into civilian slaughter. Violent nobles, unstable officers, household commanders, priests preparing panic, food hoarding authorities, fanatical loyalists, all those men who would burn grain before surrendering, men who would use civilians as shields. At the same time, civilian, military, and food assessments were made. The Dragon identified where hunger was worst, where mal- malnourished people, those who were hungry, were concentrated, which villages were closest to the collapse, which noble granaries were full, which routes had to stay open, and which food lines had to begin first. The Dragon did not first secure status, statues, places, symbols, or ceremony. They secured the hungry, the exposed. They secured places where delay would kill ordinary people before anyone even understood that the old system was ending. Around Coralax, roughly 30 clothed guardians were placed on direct standby. Not everywhere, only where violence was most likely to spill into civilian harm. Their command was simple: if violence begins, disarm; if disarmament fails, suppress; if there is no other option, put the individual down. And above all, shield the surrounding areas so civilians do not cower in harm's way. That is the difference between conquest and sanctuary. A conquest wants witness, a dragon wanted fewer bodies. If a noble guard raises a weapon, the first thing a local might see was not the guard being killed. It might be the civilians behind him suddenly are protected by a silent barrier. If an officer fired into food line, the shots might simply die in the air. The Guardian was not there to win a duel. The Guardian was there to make sure the duel never reached the crowd. Behind those Guardians, 1 to 3 Black Ops teams waited, depending on the local severity. I will explain Guardian role and Black Ops in future videos. The Guardian handled the visible emergency. The Black Ops handled the hidden chain behind it. A Guardian might stop an officer in the street while Black Ops removed the messenger's route, sending kill orders. A Guardian might shield a food line while Black Ops secured the granary before it could be burned. There is no parade, no spectacle, no conquest performance. Only quiet preparation, minimum visible force, and civilian protection before pride would become massacre. And there was a ball. As you already all know from previous video who he is, Ball used his Astra form to appear in several places as the takeover unfolded, not as a permanent surveillance, not as occupation. He appeared where speech could still prevent death, where common folks panicked, where soldiers were close to firing, where noble households collapsed, where hungry people thought the food was a trap. And Baal did not arrive like a clean imperial diplomat with perfect robes and polished threats. He arrived as a Baal, as you everybody know. Ridiculous, warm, dangerous. He spoke with stupid words wrapped around painful truth. Do not stab the morning. The morning has done nothing to you. If you burn the grain, congratulations. You have defeated the dinner. Put the sword down, my tragic little kettle. You are boiling at the wrong table. And somehow people stopped. Not always, not everyone, but enough. Because Baal's foolishness was not stupidity. It was a tactical mercy. A joke lower could A joke could lower a weapon faster than a threat. A strange sentence could reach the last sane part of a terrified man before Airwook had to carry the final burn. And you know what that means. But Coralax had another wound. It had children. Where noble households were removed, their children were not punished from being born into the old order. They were separated from parental guilt and taken into the soft custody. No chains, no public humiliation, no revenge threats, no hostage logic. In extreme cases where trauma, intimidation, terror, or poisoned household memory would destroy the child, memory protection was used, not to create obedient subjects, not to turn them into Dravorn. The purpose was protection. And when they were safe enough, those children were placed with farmer families. Those families had ordinary homes, food, gardens, animals, chores, and family tables. Nothing special. The Dragon did not punish the bloodlines. They removed the poison from children before that poison could become another century of rulers. And after the hard edge of takeover passed, the Coralax did not first see more soldiers. It saw something else. It saw farmers. Dragon farmers arrived with bread, soup, grain, food, milk, and of course muddy boots and the kind of ordinary complaints only farmers can produce. But the farmers carrying bread did not fit the world they knew. In the poorest districts, food came first. There was no payment needed, no oath, no temple demand, no noble seal. Just food. Eat first, talk later. And malnourished people were seated, checked, and fed carefully, so sudden abundance would not harm them. Children were of course fed first, the elderly, the sick and abused, the household servants, the workers bent under the hunger for years, all of them were treated like people. And one sentence began to spread around the Coralax. No one owns this bread. At first, many did not trust it. Some hid food, some waited for the punishment to come out of the blue. Some expected a priest to forbid it, some expected a noble collector to appear, some thought their names were being written in secrecy, down for later death. Fear was treated as evidence of what Coralax had survived. Then something strange happened. Children laughed first. A farmer cursed at the fence post because it was not even. Some dropped a sack of grain and blamed the sack. Somewhere in the distance, Ball said something catastrophically stupid, and everybody started laughing their butts off. And a children laughter before remembering whenever laughter was allowed. Children tested the piece before adults believed it. Slowly, Coralax as a planet began to ease. Not quickly, not perfectly, like a miracle. Mothers allowed children to take the second balls. Old men stopped hitting every piece of bread. Local farmers started correcting Dravorn farmers about the Coralax soil. Servants asked whenever they were still owned. That means if they were owed some debt or some secret note was written about it, and the clear answer came no. The first normal arguments after takeover were not only about loyalty, they were surprisingly about farming. Soil storage, plow design, water channels, barns, fences, seed quality, livestock, whenever a repair method was a clever or stupid. That was when Coralax truly began to change. Not when nobles fell, not when black ops vanished, not when Baal talked the stupidity out of his butt, but when ordinary people realized the new power did not arrive hungry. It arrived carried bread. The shadow prevented the massacre. The farmers taught Coralax how to breathe again. And for the first time in living memory, fear no longer owned the morning. I hope you enjoyed this and see ya till the next time. And do not forget to subscribe. That would help a lot. Thanks.